All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be celebrating Victory Monday and exploring what kind of team the Pittsburgh Steelers are. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button down in the description below. And who was the last shout out for? The last shout out is going to be for Arthur Smith, man. I'm going to give this shout out to Arthur Smith because, man, we are excited about this team. We are excited about the offense. And I'm going to give a shout out to Justin Fields as well. Because not only is he our quarterback, right? Justin Fields is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Justin Fields is the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. But if you guys take a look at the Chicago Bears, you take a look at what's been happening to them, you take a look at what's been happening to Justin Fields over the last, 2 or 3 years of him being a Chicago Bear. This guy had to go through it, man. This guy, they tried to ruin him. They tried to ruin our boy. They tried to say he couldn't play football. They tried to tank, and they took another quarterback with the first overall pick. This quarterback, Caleb Williams, he was looked at as this generational talent. You can't miss. You can't do anything about it. You got to take him if you have the chance. But you guys had Justin Fields. The Bears had Justin Fields, and they didn't even care, man. They just threw him aside. They tossed him out. They traded him for a 6th-round pick, which is probably going to turn to a 4th-round pick because Justin Fields is playing a lot, and he will most likely continue to play a lot. But they traded the guy away for a 6th-round pick for pretty much nothing after taking him in the 1st round because they were done with him, man. The NFL world was done with Justin Fields. They didn't want to give him a chance. We gave him a chance, and it's proven to be all worth it, man. It's proven to bring me life every Monday. I got to go to work. A lot of you guys got to go to work today. I don't know if you guys are blessed to have the weekends off like I am, but I be having the weekends off, and it's like I be forgetting, I am a person. I contribute to society because I watch the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they just bring me a new life, man. They just, Justin Fields, he's done immeasurable things to my mental health this year. Because not only, all right, so you guys know I'm a Pitt fan, right? Pitt is, I believe, 4-0 up to this point. The Steelers are 3-0 up to this point. I'm in 3 different fantasy leagues, and I am undefeated in all of them. I have not lost a single football game this year. Parlays excluded. I have yet to take a loss this season. It is because of players like Justin Fields. It is because of players like TJ Watt. It is because of players like Nick Herbig. It is because of coaches like Arthur Smith. It is because of coaches like Mike Tomlin. Oh, and Mike Tomlin, man, let's we're going to keep stacking up these W's, man. But, Mike Tomlin, they tried to say this was the year. They tried to say, this was the year you're going to have a losing season. Now, of course, it's not over yet. We're only 3 games in. But to go from 3-0 to a losing season and you're Mike Tomlin, people give us no credit, man. People give us no, doubt or whatever. Mike Tomlin, I'm here to say it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tomlin is not going to have a losing season this year. 3 weeks into it, it's impossible. There is no way we're going to lose fucking 100 straight games to go to 3 and whatever. We're not going to have a losing season this year, barring insane, absolutely nuts injuries. You know what I'm saying? So we've already crossed that out. And Mike Tomlin I'm saying this now because the offseason, the whole period, if you guys have been on this channel for a while, we were taking takes and we were dissecting them. We were looking at what people were saying about the Steelers, and they were not nice things. We were looking at what people were saying about Mike Tomlin, and they were not nice things. You know what I'm saying? And so now that we are 3-0, now that we are the top dogs in the AFC, ladies and gentlemen, 3-0 top dogs in the AFC, we got to, somehow, some way, we're above the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not exactly sure why that is. But Kansas City, we talk about it, man. Last night, Sunday Night Football, man. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You know what I'm saying? The Kansas City Chiefs, they took on the Atlanta Falcons, and while they won that game, it was a little close, man. It definitely was a little close. I have Travis Kelce on my fantasy team, and he has not been eating. I know Rashee Rice has been doing good. I'm not sure about the Kansas City Chiefs run game, but I know Travis Kelce has not been eating, and what's been killing us as Steelers fans? The tight ends, man. Gronk, he used to get us. Kelce, he gets us. You know what I'm saying? That tight end position, it is impossible for us to cover. But we're looking at the Chiefs, and man, they're not all that good, bro. They're really not all that good. In Buffalo, the only other 2-0 team, we'll see what happens tonight when they play. But I'm not scared of Buffalo, especially at this point. And, we should have had, if we didn't play him with Mason Rudolph last year in the playoffs, it was a close game for a little bit. I'm not scared of Buffalo. The Texans, they just, we'll talk about the Vikings, my other favorite team. There's nowhere close to the Steelers, but the Vikings are my Madden team. You know what I'm saying? They're 3-0 too. The Vikings haven't even lost this year. When I was telling you guys, I have not took an L this football season, it's true. The Vikings haven't even lost this year. But the Texans, they went down to a close one against the Vikings. The Jets, I've talked about the Jets. The Jets suck. They're 2-1 to this point. We'll see what ends up happening. But the Jets, they're kind of bad. And the Chargers, we beat them. We beat the Chargers, and that's the 6th-ranked team. All of this to say, the excuses for not believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers are running out fast. The takes about why the Steelers aren't that good is they're running out fast, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are running out of time to hop on the Steelers bandwagon. You guys are running out of time to send these apologies. You guys are running out of time to start believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers. But that's okay, because you know why? Because Zaya and the Steelers is going to continue to believe the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the people watching him are going to continue to believe about the Pittsburgh Steelers, because we know this team is different, man. This isn't the same old, same old. This isn't your dad's Steelers team, man. This is the 2024 Justin Fields, Najee Harris led Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And we're just going, yesterday it was our first home game. We're only 1-0 on home. We've won 2 of these games on the road. The other 3-0 team, they've had 2 games at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, the level of difficulty for us has been way up there. They're going to talk about our competition. They're going to talk about teams we play. The teams we played almost took down the Kansas City Chiefs, man. The teams we played, the Denver Broncos, I'm pretty sure just took Tampa Bay Buccaneers like out of the game, bro. Like, in Tampa Bay, I think they were 2-0. They were starting off hot. Baker Mayfield goes through a career change every 2-3 weeks. Like, it goes from he's asked to like he's like the best quarterback ever to he's asked to he's the best quarterback ever. They caught Baker Mayfield when he was the best quarterback ever, and they shut him down, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they got their first win too. And you see Baltimore all the way down there. You see Cleveland all the way down there. You see Cincinnati all the way down there. Who was all the way up here? It is the Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen. And like, once again, we're only 3 weeks into the season, but I was telling you guys this before. When I seen how low we were, I'm realistic. I am non-biased. I'm pretty biased. I'll be honest. I'm pretty biased. But like, realistically, I love football. I really do love football, and I love talking about football. And so when we were, discussing the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was joking saying, maybe we can be a Super Bowl team, but that's just the fan in me. Of course, I'm always going to ride for the Steelers. Like, we can be a Super Bowl team. But I was like, the main point of it all was like people were acting like we were this bottom of the barrel fucking team. And we used to look back to this Colin Cowherd segment from months ago at this point that I uploaded, when we were like, need a prayer to make the playoffs or whatever, or need a prayer to have a winning record. Like, we had to pray to God. That is what they thought about us before the season. They thought we needed divine intervention for us to be a good team, when it turns out all we needed to do was get Justin Fields and get Big Arthur Smith and use Darnell Washington in the pass game, man. That's all we had to do. All we had to do was use Darnell Washington in the pass game. All we had to do was use the middle of the field, as I believe it is up here, the middle of the field, ladies and gentlemen. This video is going to be all over the place. This is a happy Victory Monday video, though, so it's probably going to be longer, probably going to be informative, as I just really don't want to go to work. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to talk about the Steelers in order to delay the process. But we look at the middle of the field. This is what Justin Fields is doing. We're hitting people on the outside. We're hitting people on the inside. We're hitting people short. We're hitting people long. We're hitting people here. We're hitting people there. We're hitting people here, here, here. You know what I'm saying? Arthur Smith has done this for us. We used to look at the Kenny Pickett passing charts and just throw up. You know why? Because this whole part of the field, like from here to here, was just deleted, bro. All the passes would be on the sideline, or because we fucking scored 3 points a game, man. We would get fucking 70 yards of offense in 3 quarters, so all of the passes would be on the outsides of the sticks. All of the passes were nowhere near the middle of the field. We were scared of the middle of the field. That is the team that we were. And today, those days are long gone, ladies and gentlemen. Those days are far behind us, because Arthur Smith and Justin Fields, man, they have us, and this run game they have us. Our guards, Samalu, our inside, Zach Frazier at center, or I'm sorry, not Samalu, because he's been hurt, but like Samalu, he's going to come back. But James Daniels, man, he's been killing in the middle, man. Mason McCormick, our newly drafted guard, he made a debut yesterday because of all of the injuries we've had on the offensive line. It is what it is. It is next man up mentality, man. Every time we beat a team, every single time we beat a team, man, they start pointing to the rafters to start naming people who are hurt for them, bro. And I get Justin Herbert. He was a big loss for the team. He was a big loss for the Chargers, man. But let's be honest, bro. Like, you guys got us with that, like, pump fake, you caught, who did you catch? Who's our Joey Porter Jr.? You caught him with that pump fake, and we had Quentin Johnson touchdown. You caught us, just like Kyle Pitts caught us. But past that, they were doing nothing, bro. They couldn't run the ball against us. They really couldn't pass against us. We were holding it down on 3rd down. You know what I'm saying? We were getting the ball back. Justin Herbert was hurt. He definitely was hurt. He definitely left the game. But your backup is Taylor Heineke, man. This guy has started plenty of games. You really want me to give excuse? Taylor Heineke has started seasons worth of games before, and so I'm supposed to just sit here and be like, yeah, even though we beat the Chargers pretty handedly, we actually didn't, because they played Taylor Heineke for 7 minutes, bro. You guys lost, you know what I'm saying? And Joe Alt ended up leaving the game a little bit after TJ Watt dominated him and got that sack. I believe Joey Bosa was in and out for the Chargers. I get it. You guys are dealing with injuries, but at some point, we got to start giving the Pittsburgh Steelers credit. At some point, we got to start being hype about these wins. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm hype about these wins. I'm excited about this team, as I've stated over and over and over again. And this is more because, we haven't lost yet. We are probably going to lose, not to jinx it, but back in 2020, I believe we went, what, 11-0, 12-0, something like that. Eventually, we are going to lose. I don't think we're going to go undefeated. If we do and win the Super Bowl, be my guest, Pittsburgh Steelers. But eventually, we're going to lose. And so I have to get my shit off now. You know what I'm saying? I have to get it off now because we are happy. We are excited on this Victory Monday. I'm going to go to work. There's only 4 teams in the NFL who are undefeated. And right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those teams. And I don't know any Kansas City Chiefs fan. I am also the only Vikings fan I know. And the other undefeated team, the other 3-0 team, because the Bills are still 2-0, but they haven't played their third week. I forget who the other 4 or 3-0 team is. But exactly, you know what I'm saying? That's the point. Who is that other 3-0 team? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So the Pittsburgh Steelers, we run this shit. We run the NFL narrative. You look back, this is the shit I am talking about, man. Like I said, we're 10 minutes into this video. If you guys are having a good time, hit that subscribe button. But this is the shit I'm talking about. You look back 5 years at any point, for a team to be 3-0, you would think the Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0. You look back 10 years, any team to be 3-0, it'd probably be the Pittsburgh Steelers. 15 years, it's probably be the Pittsburgh Steelers. 20 years, it's probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. 10 or fucking 30 years, it's probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are a real organization. We have been a great organization for year after year after year after year. And so when these teams come out of nowhere for their little 3-4 year spans, aka the Kansas City Chiefs, and they get to talk shit about the NFL world like they just been running shit forever, or like what, the Philadelphia Eagles, who spend 17 years being ass and 2 years being all right, and then 17 more being ass. And then who else is it? The Cincinnati Bengals, who finally woke up after what, 100+ years of being nothing, like literally not a real team. You're like, this is what happens. This is why I get so frustrated, because we are one of the only teams in NFL history who really have a history. In NFL history, we really have a history. You know what I mean? We are really like one of the only NFL teams who like have fans all across the world, man. We look at some of these other teams who just got good, aka the Buffalo Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what happens with the Buffalo Bills, but they missed their window. Remember how much shit Bills fans used to talk? Like, oh yeah, Josh Allen's up next. Oh yeah, we're here. They've missed their window. They're back to bad again. And I'm not gonna say they're bad. They're only 2-0. We'll see how that ends up going. They actually haven't lost this year, so I'm just kind of sleeping on them. But I feel like they've lost a lot of their weapons. But like they're probably going to be back to being bad again. They've missed their window. The Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the only teams in NFL history that their window is just right there, man. I know there were some early times before Big Ben where we were asked for a little bit. We were definitely asked for a little bit, and I can't, point to those. I can't point to those teams, but I know the Mike Tomlin-led teams, we have always been good. We have always been in the mix. In the down years, once again, we've never had a losing season, but the down years are just for a year or two, and then we back up, and then we are back up to contending. It was, the Killer Bees was the last time we were really good, but throughout that, we had the 2020 year. You know what I'm saying? Throughout that, we had chances. We have, I believe in 2021 or 2, we still hit the playoffs as well, lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just die. We don't just tank for Tua. We don't just, you know what I'm saying? We don't just go all out to get the number 1 draft pick. We don't do that. We are consistently a good organization. We're consistently a good franchise. And a lot of teams out there, they can't say that. We look at the Texans, who are like preseason favorites. The Texans, like, they spent how many years not being good? They spent how many years with Deshaun Watson not really doing much, and then they get rid of Deshaun Watson, and then they're asked for fucking, 4 years, and then now they have a good season last year, and all of a sudden they're just way better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. We also look at the New York Jets, who entire history is Joe Namath, but, they get Aaron Rodgers 70 years later, and now they're just ranked ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the preseason. I hate that shit, because we have earned this right. We have earned this right by being consistently good year after year, and then also taking it from other fans because, you guys aren't going to get anything done. You guys are always one and done. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, but you guys do nothing with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tomlin not only has a Super Bowl, but he has another Super Bowl appearance, and we're coming for that shit this year. We are coming back for that shit. And, I'm kind of ranting at this point, but I start thinking about it. The more I talk about it, the more I make it exist, and the more it becomes in my mind, because it's just bullshit that I really have to listen to some people talk about football, and like they like these random teams, and I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is bullshit, and we all know it's bullshit. NFL fans, you guys know it's bullshit. I'm not trying to big up the Steelers. I'm not trying to act like we're just, ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. But we are ahead of the game and ahead of the curve, man. We should be proud to be Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and I am proud to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, especially now that we are 3-0. And so I'm going to move on now. The only team in the last 10 years to win their first 3 games of the season while allowing 10 or fewer points in each, the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers, man. If we look back 10 years to that other team, I'm not sure who it is, but this shit hasn't happened in a decade. We have and look at this, oh my God, TJ Watt looks like straight from Game of Thrones right now, man. This is a brand new team. Like, we are in a completely different era. This hasn't happened in over a decade. And here we are, the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers are making it happen, man. The 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers are doing their thing. And the 2024 Pittsburgh Steelers are so back, man. We are so back. We took a look at this passing chart. You can see the offense right here. You can see how Justin Fields is playing right here. But then if we go back to some more Steelers defensive ranks, total yards allowed, 229, that's first place. Scoring defense, we've allowed 8.7 points a game. That is a little over a touchdown. That is a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, 1 for the entire game. We have allowed the 3rd least amount of rushing yards, and we have allowed the 6th amount of passing yards. You know what I'm saying? It's early, but the Pittsburgh is on a historic pace. We are on a historic pace, and we have a historic player in TJ Watt, someone who I haven't even really brought up when I'm talking about all of the receipts that we had to keep, all of the doubters we had to prove wrong. TJ Watt has had the defensive player of the year stolen from him for countless years, for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, 5, 6, 7 times at this point. TJ Watt should be a 5-time defensive player of the year, but because we're the Pittsburgh Steelers and, you know, the Rams, you know, we bring it up. I love Aaron Donald, big Pitt guy. I love Aaron Donald, but the Rams, who like randomly were good for what, 3-4 year stretch, and I think they're pretty good now. I think they just took down Arizona, but you know what I'm saying? The Rams were randomly good for like a 3-4 year stretch. Aaron Donald, a generational player. I'm not trying to, you know, put too much on him, but, you know, people just love other teams besides the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. You put TJ Watt on some random team, you put TJ Watt on like the Vikings, I bet this guy is a 4-time defensive player of the year at this point. You put him on the Titans, I bet he's like already a 3-time defensive player of the year. People love these stories for other teams, but when it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's like we still got the 70s out there, man. It's like we still got the steel curtain out there, man, because like they're bringing down TJ Watt. They're like, oh, he has all this help. They start naming now it's time to name Alex Highsmith when we're talking about how good TJ Watt is, when I can't get y'all to say his name for shit anytime ever. And then when TJ Watt is playing good, it's, oh, he has Alex Highsmith on the other side. Now Cameron Hayward isn't old and washed up, even though that's what you guys say. Now he's not old and washed up. He's helping out TJ Watt. Now Minka, everybody hates Minka. Everybody thinks their safety is better than Minka, but when we have TJ Watt, it's, oh, he has Minka's help. You know, he's not that good. All of the shit that happens, all of the shit that plays out for TJ Watt, it's annoying. It bothers me. And so like every single time TJ Watt eats, every single time I see a picture of this guy, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to pay respects, and I'm going to turn on the OBS, and I'm going to turn on Zaya&TheSteelers, and I'm going to tell you guys have to pay respect to this guy, because TJ Watt, he's leading this historic defense, this decade new defense. We haven't done this shit in a decade. No team has done this shit in a decade. 3-0 to this point. The defense is carrying. Once again, we've allowed 8 points per game, guys. It is just historic. It is historic at this point. 8 points per game, 8.7. We round that up to 9. Still a touchdown and a field goal wins. Last week I said, yo, I think the Chargers, I think we can hold them to 17. We held them to 10. I gave them 7 more points. And you know what I'm saying? Like 17 points was too much for the Chargers, man. That is what's crazy about it. 17 was too much for the Chargers. And we will see how the Colts game is going to go. We will see how the future games go for the Steelers defense. But you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I am excited for this team, and I think we're going to continue. I really do. I think we're going to push it. I think we're going to go the whole season with probably the best defense in the NFL. And I mentioned this a little bit ago about how, you know, we're biased sometimes. Like our defense has been good, but it's never really been the best defense in the NFL for a little bit, besides, you know, like 2008 or whatever. And I think 2019 we were the best defense in the NFL. Like I don't have the stats to back it up, but it's just more of like the vibes of it all. In 2019 we were the best defense in the NFL, right? But now, like genuinely, like we are genuinely the best defense in the NFL for sure, outside of maybe the Minnesota Vikings, and that's my Madden team, so it is what it is. Next up, we talked about this. Justin Fields' career stats so far in Pittsburgh, because I wanted to point once again to Justin Fields in the offense. 55 for 75, 73.3% completion percentage, 95 quarterback rating, 3-0, first in the North. Once again, this is an amazing picture of Justin Fields, man. But once again, bro, they wrote this guy out. They even started Russell Wilson over him, man, and I was a fan of that. I'll be honest. I was a fan of Russell Wilson starting at one point, but yo, Justin Fields, he took the criticism, he took the doubts, he waited his turn, and it came early. This is what happens when you wait your turn. Kenny Pickett, I have your jersey, man. Kenny Pickett. We're 3 weeks in the 2024 season. Here I am still talking about Kenny Pickett, but it's true. I have to. This is why you guys watch, because I give my honest takes. I love the Pittsburgh Panthers. I love Eli Holstein. I love Kenny Pickett. You know, nothing will ever change the fact that Kenny Pickett in 2021 showed me things that I don't think I've ever seen from a quarterback. Pause. Right? Like I don't think anybody can replicate that 2021 season that him and Jordan Addison had and that Pittsburgh Panthers offense had, right? But Kenny Pickett, if you had just chilled, if you had just been quiet, we think about it. Justin Fields, what was he? He was the backup. He was the backup quarterback. Russell Wilson was supposed to be the starter. That is the actual facts of it all, right? That was what is supposed to happen. Was Russell Wilson was supposed to be the starter, and Kenny Pickett, you were been the backup, bro. There is no way we were just gonna drop you without you wanting to be dropped. You know, I get Omar Khan has been aggressive. I get we've been trying to push the needle or whatever, but Omar Khan would not have just gotten rid of Kenny Pickett if Kenny Pickett didn't pretty much ask to be traded, right? Because why did Kenny Pickett ask to be traded? Because he didn't want. Well, one, apparently we lied to him and all of this nonsense. you know, and he just wanted a fresh start. I get that. But 2, he didn't want to sit behind Russ, man. He didn't want to face the challenge. He didn't want to embrace the challenge. But you know who did? Justin Fields did. Justin Fields wanted to embrace the challenge. Justin Fields was ready to, you know what I'm saying, sit for a year, learn, and come back when his time was called. He was ready for that. But guess what? Your time was called week 1. Your time was called week 2. Your time was called week 3. And guess what? He is getting better as the weeks go on. He is getting better as the season progresses. And, you know, yesterday he had his first rushing touchdown. I talked about how I wanted to see the wheels a little bit more out of Justin Fields. He showed us the wheels, man, and he's been showing us the wheels this whole season, bro. Now I'm on the website Muse, right? And 1, I just like this website. I feel like the layout is really cool. But 2, it's showing me all of the stats. So here's who we are 3 weeks into the season. You can see, looking at the running backs, Najee Harris is pretty much leading the charge here at 55 attempts, 209 yards, 3.8 per carry. We look at Jaylen Warren. He's been dealing with injuries. It's supposed to be like a split. It's supposed to be a more fair split. And I think as the season goes on, as you know what I'm saying, as he gets healthier, like the split is going to come. The split is going to happen more. Cordero Patterson also playing really well when his number has been called. But yeah, as the season progresses and Jaylen Warren gets healthier, I think he'll get more snaps. Justin Fields also has 90 rushing yards, and also he has our only rushing touchdown, as Naj still doesn't have one, Jaylen doesn't have one, Cordero doesn't have one. George Pickens apparently had a rushing attempt. We lost 10 yards on this rushing attempt. I hope we never run that play again. But yeah, like Najee Harris, we talked about him potentially having a career year. I think that can still happen. Our line, just with the way it's playing and the play calling with running it to the outside, we need to stop running it to the outside. But also, too, our line has been pretty, you know, banged up. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. We were supposed to have like 2 other offensive linemen play every game who aren't going to play every game. And so that is what it is. But so far, Najee Harris is doing his thing. We're winning the rushing battle when we need to win it. But yeah, I would like for this to improve a little bit. Like, I would like for Naj to play a little better, and then Jaylen Warren to also get some more snaps, because I'm a big Jaylen Warren fan. But for right now, I can't complain. Once again, we're 3-0, and then we look to the receivers because, you know, big Pittsburgh Steelers, big. We don't have a receiver, man. George Pickens, he's leading us in the charge with 171 yards. Pat Freiermuth has the second most receptions, almost 100 yards. You can see Calvin Austin down here has 108 yards. He has a touchdown. Calvin Austin and Darnell Washington, the only touchdown scorers for this team, by the way. George Pickens without a touchdown. We know one got called back, but it is going to come. It is going to happen. And George Pickens, this is another reason why you guys need to be hype about the Steelers, because George Pickens, he hasn't even really, you know, reached it yet, you know? He hasn't even really gotten to that point yet. Of course, George Pickens is going to get a touchdown this season. This is going to be like the Deontay Johnson year where he didn't get a touchdown. Of course, he is going to get a touchdown this year, and it hasn't happened yet. We haven't had to use it yet. You know what? I bet George Pickens is going to get a touchdown next week. You heard it first. You heard it on Monday. I bet George Pickens is going to get a touchdown against the Colts this week, because, you know, we got to get him one. Him or Naj, like between the two of them, one of them are due for a touchdown. It is what it is. Like, you heard it here first. I'm telling you, that is just how the NFL world works. Pickens and Naj, one of them is going to get a touchdown next week. We look at the defense. Really, I don't know how exactly to judge this. We can see Minka and Deshaun Elliott, our safeties, are leading the tackles. Who's next? Patrick Queen, man, our signing. What about the sacks? Is TJ leading us in sacks? TJ has 3 sacks, and Nick Herbig has 2. We talked about Nick Herbig yesterday. Oh, my God, the way this guy plays sometimes. And I got to talk about Nick Herbig because he's somebody who, in the preseason process of it all, in the, like, you know, early stages of Zaya and the Steelers, in the early stages of the videos when we were talking about, you know, how good this team was going to be, Nick Herbig was a guy we always pointed to because he played a lot of the preseason, and this guy is just fucking dominant, man. He's just absolutely a beast, and we have to figure out a way to get this guy in the field. Of course, Alex Highsmith, by the way, he ended up getting hurt. I'm not sure, like, how that is going to affect the things or whatever. I'm not sure how long he's going to be hurt or what the injury is exactly. But Nick Herbig, we got to find a way to get this guy in the field more, while also getting TJ and Alex Highsmith out there too. Like, it is amazing problems to have, I guess, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that we have too many edge rushers, and they're all elite. Look at the splash plays as well. Deshaun Elliott, he is killing, and he's been killing. Like, he's leading us in tackles damn near, and he has an interception. KZ has a pick. Dante Jackson has a pick. He's also been, Dante Jackson, like, I seen him tackling yesterday in the Chargers game. He's been a beast. Corey Trice, he has a pick too, but he also left with injury. We hope to get him back soon as well. But just, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've just been doing our thing, and TJ Watt leading the charge with 3 sacks. Back to him, leading the charge with 3 sacks. Like, we've just been doing our thing on offense and defense, and we have so much reason to be excited. We have look at all this green, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is so much green. We can ignore the, like, rushing. We can ignore these red things, but the green on the defensive ranks is just absolutely beautiful to see, and this is only going to get better. We are not going to be in these reds for very long in this season. By, like, week 7, we are going to be in the green, or at least in the white in terms of, like, mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be 28, 26 in these offensive things, but this defensive things, I think we're going to continue this. I think we're going to continue to be the best defense in the NFL. And like I said, this is who we are 3 weeks into the season. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for, like, us to progress and us to continue getting better and us to continue to prove the doubters wrong, man, because that is just what we are. That is just the team that we are. And we are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we are proud to be Steelers fans. The last thing I want to bring up here is, if we start playing good enough, man, if we get to 4-0, if we get to 5-0, 6-0, at what point do we be aggressive? At what point do we finally decide to address this receiver room, man? And there it is, Devonte Adams in a Steelers jersey. Fucking why not, bro? If the Raiders, if they want to get rid of Adams, if Adams doesn't want to be a Raider anymore because they suck and he wants to come to a real team, why can't he come to the Pittsburgh Steelers? And why shouldn't we be aggressive about it? Because once again, we are undefeated so far. Our defense is the best defense in the NFL. Listen, I know nobody believes like Justin Fields. Like, I know nobody believes that this team can really get it done. But if you have the best defense in the NFL and you continuously look good enough on offense, you can go all the way, man. You really can. We can go all of the way. And so Devonte Adams, if you want to be a Pittsburgh Steelers, Steeler, give me a call or leave a comment down below. Like, hey, it's me, Devonte Adams. I know Joey Porter Jr. locked you up last year and I had to make a video about it, but I'm willing to forgive that because he's on our team. You don't have to face him anymore if you come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we play the Raiders later in the season. And so, you know, if you don't want to face Joey Porter Jr. again, you got to ask for that trade, Devonte Adams. You got to come be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Honestly, any wide receiver on the trade block, you know what I'm saying, by the trade deadline, if we're a good enough team to that point, we need to be aggressive and we need to go out and do it because I genuinely think we can get the whole job done this single season, ladies and gentlemen. I think we can get to the Super Bowl, at least get that playoff win because that is the real bar. The real bar for this team is a playoff win. Past that, it is house money. But you know, at the same time, you know, we are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I talked about it earlier about how we're a real organization. All those other teams out there are fake, you know, so you guys don't want to hear it again. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have Super Bowl expectations every single year, unlike some other teams. And so the goal is always a Super Bowl, but the realistic goal is that playoff win. I think we can get it done without Devonte, but if we really want to capitalize, if we really want to go all in, we might as well give Devonte Adams a call, man. You know, but I mean, we're probably not going to trade for Devonte Adams if we're being honest. We're probably not even going to get another receiver because we haven't gotten one to this point. But we will see what ends up happening, man. Otherwise, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. I am just very excited about this team. I wanted to kind of like put you guys on or let you guys know how excited I am on this Victory Monday because, like I said, we really have a chance to be a dominant team. We are 3-0. We're one of 4 teams who are 3-0, top of the AFC, literally the leaders in the AFC, the entire conference. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I just had to, you know, talk my shit again. I had to walk it through. I'm wearing my Steelers shirt with pride today, and you guys should wear your Steelers shirt with pride today too. Anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya&TheSteelers. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Once again, we are very close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys enjoy Steelers content and you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, man, for future uploads. Anyways, like I said, that is going to do it for me. This has been Zaya from Zaya&TheSteelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.